Oh, hi. Welcome to today's Decay. Celebrating births and beginnings with everything important since the dawn of time. February 8th edition. And what happened today? I missed last year. So this is one of those good days where you can't just scroll back through the library, through the vaults, and find last year. And it's all for the better because I have lots of props to use today. 1828 today, Jules Verne was born. I got a couple of great Jules Verne here. What do we got? Here is a photoplay novelization of the, what year is it? 19, oh, I don't know. 1917. Photoplay novelization of the 1917 silent film of his story. So that's to say, it's got stills of the movie interspersed throughout. But really, it's like, you know, the source material unchanged. Yeah, good one. What other Jules Verne? I'm definitely a really big Jules Verne fan, and I feel like I haven't read enough of him. So it's a good day on his birthday to dedicate some time to the man, right? Here is a modern pressing of this book because there was no original. Paris in the 20th century. In the lofty, far-flung future of 1960, but written in 1860. And it is so good and so sad. And like, he wrote it I think this was his first novel, maybe. And his editor or publisher or somebody was like, this is really depressing. Nobody's going to want to read this. And it is so, he has such foresight into where the world was going in almost all ways. A couple of things are wrong, but like, not the stuff that matters. Stuff that matters, he gets right, and it's really sad. Something like this would have made a great Lon Chaney Sr. movie. Yeah. Have I sold it? I'm trying to sell it. Not my copy. I'm gonna keep my copy, but I'm trying to sell you on it some way or another. What else? I'm sure I have more Verne here. Anyway, also today, 1855, the Devil's Footprints phenomena occurred. That was in Devon, England, I believe. And nobody really understands. They were just these really odd footprints that captured people's imagination. And they never identified what caused it. But yeah, was it the devil? I am not the person to answer that question. Dr. Karl von Cosel, born today, 1877. Who is Dr. Karl von Cosel, you ask? Why, he's none other than Karl Tanzler von Cosel of Florida Keys, right? Down south Florida. I forget. A bona fide mad doctor. If I did this with enough thought ahead of time, which I did not, I would have probably had a special guest today, director Ronnie Thomas, who made a whole film about the secret of Elena's tomb. And this is a bit of nonfiction in this pulp magazine from like mid 40s, early 40s, something like that. So he was a mad doctor. Look at this. I have to be very careful here because this is delicate. So he was a man of science who was a medical doctor and had a patient named Elena and couldn't save her. She passed away, but he fell in love with her and so stole her body from her tomb in the cemetery and brought her back to his house where he made her into a sex doll and like sort of a mummy, kind of, and then started to build a airship inside of his house with the intention of like taking her and like flying off into the sunset together. But like this airship was never going to actually be able to leave the structure he built it in, which I think is kind of terrific. And when you see photos of what he did to her, it is horrific, which only adds to the like oddity of the whole story, because the local news media in like Florida Keys or wherever they were, the same place that the Coral Castle is, that Edward Lee Skolnick creation. I forget. It probably says it right in here. Anyway, so all the local news media latch on to this story and make it into this like heartbroken love story. And like he did this horrible thing because he loved her. And like somehow all the like would-be angry villagers, like as if it's like a Universal monster movie, in the Florida Keys or wherever, are just like sad for him. And like you look at these photos and like, don't be sad for him. He's a crazy person. But yeah, that's just not the way it was. And then so he wrote his memoir, I guess, on the whole subject. That's like what all this is in here. From prison while he was like awaiting sentencing. Yeah, so anyway, he was born today, 1877. King Vidor, born today, 1894. I didn't even read all this before I started. I have lots of great King Vidor content that I could show you. One of my favorite directors ever, for sure. The Crowd being my favorite. The Crowd. What do we got for that here? Here's a French cut down version of like the photoplay. It is so good. Phantom Creep Theater. We did a whole presentation of The Crowd, like horror hosting it, which is difficult because this is not a horror movie, you know. But it is such a raw, unflinching view of like the struggles of humanity that it feels like it could be a horror movie. Close enough. And it's shot in Coney Island in 1927. Where was... I had a couple more Crowd things here. Here's the photoplay novelization without the dust jacket. I've been looking for the dust jacket of this for like 20 some odd years. Nothing. Anyway, what else? I could actually go on and on about King Vidor. He made The Big Parade. That was a really great film, 1925, 26. Put MGM on the map. John Gilbert. Great anti-war World War I movie coming out like just after World War I ended. I mean, not just, but close enough. I think it's the first World War I movie shot like afterwards, so they're using like all original World War I tanks and everything. Hallelujah he made, I believe with his own money. It was like an all African-American cast and I believe crew, and he was having trouble funding it, so he just said, I want to do this, I'm doing it, and paid for it and made it happen. The Champ also has a really human transcending scene dealing with racism and children. It's, you know, like a Wallace Beery picture a la like Barton Fink or something, but it putting it into this box is really wrong. It's a beautiful film, really great performances by all. Here is, for The Champ, here's the photoplay with the dust jacket there. Love it. Yep, Wallace Beery and Jackie Cooper. This is super weird. Let's see if I can get this out without screwing it up. I don't know what this is. Was this somebody's like homemade version of a photo play? I don't know, but like, look at this. This is like from 1931, thereabouts, and it is like the script, or like sections of the script, with stills of the film throughout it. I mean, was this like somebody's homework assignment? I don't know, but I stumbled on it one day and it's like, smells really good. It's all clearly like hand typed. Whoever did this loved it. They're probably dead now. Anyway, really fun. What else? Our Daily Bread. King Vidor. I've also got this script. So James Murray was the star of the crowd, and the whole point of the point of the crowd was he didn't want like big stars that like he felt like names and like recognizable faces could be distracting to the story. He wanted like the everyman to basically play the characters in his film. So he found like random people on the street and was like, hey, you think you can act? Let's give you a screen test and try you out. And one of these people wound up being James Murray, who was wonderful in the movie, and he rocketed to stardom from it. And he really couldn't take the pressure and like buckled with alcohol abuse. And a couple of years later, King Vidor found him on the street begging for change, and he's like, "What are you doing? Let's get you up. Let me go buy you a sandwich. Let's talk about a new movie. Maybe I can get you in a film or something." And he was like, "Just leave me alone. Either give me money for booze or like get the hell out of here." And then that was the last King Vidor ever saw James Murray, until he read a newspaper report that like a couple of years later, like 39 or something like that, James Murray's body washed up on the shores of Manhattan in a way that was oddly very similar to a scene in the film The Crowd. So this whole idea got like stuck in King Vidor's head that he was somehow, maybe not responsible for, but assisted in the particulars of James Murray's demise. And so like his memory, or James Murray the person, like haunted King Vidor for the next, I don't know, 50, 60 years of his life, to the point that he was trying literally for decades to make a movie all about James Murray, and was never able to. But here is the original shooting script that like he presented, that like he was never able to produce. It's the whole damn thing. Oh, there's a picture of him there. But yeah, this is the whole shooting script of what really was King Vidor's like life's work that like was never finally realized. He was pitching it over and over again, trying to get funding for decades, and it never happened. So I came across the script, and we at Phantom Creep Theater did a whole live stage play recreating or taking segments of his concept and playing it all out on the Coney Island stage, where they filmed The Crowd some 90 years earlier. Yes, I'm proud of myself. You're right. Bill Finger, born today, 1914, who never got anywhere near enough credit. I definitely read a book on Bob Kane when I was a kid, and Bob Kane just ripped off left and right, including Bill Finger, creator of Batman, truly. That's the point. Yeah. Oh well. The film The Fog premiered today, 1980. Fantastic movie, right? John Carpenter at his peak, or one of his peaks, one of his many peaks. Yeah, and last but certainly not least, 1982 today, quintessential UK82 punk, Blitz, Release, Never Surrender, Path 45. So, that's it, the whole day. From us to you, till tomorrow. Go watch the crowd. Goodbye.